Hello, once more, everyone. Welcome back to the 2024 NFL predictions back here on YouTube for Week 16 NFL prediction video series. After going 4-3 in Week 15, my personal season record is now 56-49, 7 games over 500 going into Week 16. The final 3 weeks, AFC's number 1 seed up for grabs still. 3 teams in the race for that number 1 seed. Potential teams to upset those 3 teams as well this week. And over the next 3 weeks to happen as well. And also teams in NFC for the number 1 seed up for grabs as well. Still pretty much alive for number 1 seed. Get all into all that and more, starting out with our games this week. As we start out, Thursday Night Football, Denver Broncos and the Chargers of Los Angeles. Bo Nix, the rookie quarterback out of Oregon, going up against Justin Herbert, who's a veteran for the Chargers. Chargers, first-year head coach Jim Harbaugh, looking like they're going to go to the playoffs as a wild card. Broncos, under Sean Payton, with a rookie quarterback in Bo Nix, also look like they're a playoff team as well. These 2 teams can end up in the playoffs as well, both out of the AFC West, along with Kansas City. We'll talk about it in a moment, but this matchup should be interesting to see on Thursday Night Football. Chargers, Broncos, 2 teams who are looking like they're going to go back to the playoffs for the first time. Chargers, potentially their first time under Justin Herbert. I don't know the stats and if he's made the playoffs before, but if he has, I haven't seen him in the playoff stats. For Broncos, Bo Nix would be his first year as a quarterback. Just like C.J. Stroud did last year in Houston in year 1, he can make it. And it looks like the Broncos and Chargers, 2 teams, are going to have a good game this Thursday night. It should be fun to watch, I think. I think this game's going to be a dogfight for both teams to play this game. No matter who, I think each team's going to have a good game for Broncos and for the Chargers. At the end of the day, I think the Chargers playing at home have a little more stability to play at home, to get a big win at home. That being said, I think the Chargers and Justin Herbert beat the Broncos and Bo Nix to make their playoffs hopefuls a lot more credibility to get them in. So give me the Chargers on Thursday Night Football for this one here coming up on Thursday night. Moving on to our next game. Houston Texans, C.J. Stroud. They clinched the AFC South. They're against my favorite team, the Kansas City Chiefs, and Patrick Mahomes and Travis Kelce. And as a Chiefs fan, I will say this, nervously watching to find out, is Patrick Mahomes going to be healthy for Saturday? With the high ankle sprain, will he be healthy to play? And as a Chiefs fan, other thing I'm concerned about is, will the number 1 seed be in jeopardy this weekend? And over the next 2 weeks, it's their second game in an 11-day period. And after that, after Sunday, they only have a 3-day turnaround before they play the Steelers on Christmas Day in Pittsburgh, which is going to be tough for the Chiefs. For the Texans, they clinch a division. Their goal in Houston is to just improve their record. They know they're going to be number 4 seed, but do they want to get to where Pittsburgh is? Maybe get past Pittsburgh. Maybe end up in the same spot as Pittsburgh, because the Steelers have a tough road to stretch ahead too. The number 1 seed for the AFC is going to be interesting to watch over the next 2 weeks. And for the Chiefs, Patrick Mahomes, he just needs to be healthy, I think. I think if you get a win with Mahomes on Saturday afternoon against the Texans, I think going to the Wednesday in Pittsburgh, I think you give Carson Wentz a chance maybe once or twice over the next 3 weeks. Maybe give Carson Wentz Saturday, and then go with Mahomes on Wednesday, and then you get 11 days off before you play again on a Sunday, the 5th of January, before you play again. And that's going to be the storyline in Kansas City. How's it going to play out? I think for the Houston Texans and C.J. Stroud, they know what they want to do. They want to win out and just improve their record going into the wild card round. And for the Texans, they need to play well. The Chiefs also need to play well. I think if Mahomes starts, you have a chance. But Kansas City, their offensive line is the questionable. They did good with a backup. Moved Joe Tooney over to left tackle and moved someone into left guard. And then you went with the rest of the game. And Clyde Edwards-Helaire was recently released this week as well. So I think it's going to be tough for Kansas City this week on Saturday with Mahomes. Questions about him. I think it's going to be tough. I think this might be a trap game for the Chiefs. With that being said, I do think Kansas City barely comes away with a win. We'll see what happens, though, on Saturday afternoon in Kansas City. Next up on the schedule, also Saturday, Pittsburgh Steelers and Russell Wilson. They're going to Baltimore playing Lamar Jackson and the Ravens. The number one team from last year, the Ravens, they have fallen slightly. They look like the Ravens look like at this time they're going to be a wild card team at the moment. Unfortunately, I have a lot of questions about the Ravens. Their kicker, Justin Tucker, who has missed a lot of field goals this year, and then for the Steelers, Russell Wilson. Can he do what he's done in the past, like he did with the Seahawks when he's back with the Seahawks when he first got to Seattle, after getting drafted, and lead the Steelers to the promised land? I think that's a chance that the Steelers could be a Super Bowl contender, but I think this week going into Baltimore, the Steelers should know that Justin Tucker for the Ravens is not having a good year as a kicker, missing a lot of field goals and extra points. And for the Ravens, they need to look at Russell Wilson and see what happens when he's in the game and make plans for him. I think this could consider a game where Pittsburgh might come in a little overhyped going into Baltimore. Former Ravens linebacker Patrick Queen going back to Baltimore, playing against his former team. He's going to look to sack Lamar Jackson. I think the Ravens will contain the Steelers' defense this week. And I do think the Ravens get a chance. I think this game's going to be close. At the end of the day, I think it's going to be a small. I think this game's going to be like a touchdown or 3-point win for whoever comes out. At the end of the day, though, I do think the Ravens upset the Steelers on a Saturday, unfortunately. So give me the Ravens here in this one on a Saturday afternoon. Moving on. We have Jalen Hurts and the Eagles. First place Eagles. They're going to be against Washington Commanders this weekend. The Eagles, they just beat the Steelers over the weekend. A game I predicted the Eagles would win. And going into this weekend on Sunday, this is a matchup. Look at the Eagles. They want to get a number one seed. They have the Lions ahead of them, and they also have the Vikings, who are moving up there, who won last night. I'll talk about the Vikings here in a minute. But you look at this game on paper, and the Commanders, their team, they can upset you anytime they have. They've had upset wins this year in Washington, games they've won that they should have not won, games that they've surprised teams with. For example, and the Washington Commanders, looking at them, this is one of those teams. They've had an amazing year in their year with Jaden Daniels, the Heisman Trophy winner from last year. And the Eagles, Jalen Hurts, also won a Heisman with the Oklahoma Sooners. He's pretty good as well. He's led the Eagles. I think the Eagles, though, and Commanders, this game's going to be a close game. I think it's not going to be a lot of scoring. I think this might come down to maybe a game where both teams score under 20 points. Maybe 20 points is the magic number for the team that wins. At the end of the day, I think Jalen Hurts and the Eagles get the job done to continue their way in the NFC East. And I think they will win the NFC East this year after missing out last year. But give me the Eagles here on Sunday against the Washington Commanders. Next up, we have the Minnesota Vikings, Sam Darnold, first-year quarterback. And the Seattle Seahawks and Geno Smith, the Seahawks, they're looking like they're going back to the playoffs, which they are. For the Vikings, Sam Darnold, a win last night against the Bears, big time. As a Bears fan, I'll say this. Caleb Williams and the Bears, they need a new offensive line. They need a new head coach that knows what to do. And the general manager, Ryan Poles, needs to figure it out. But for the Vikings, though, who won that last night's game, it was an interesting game by far. For the Seahawks, they come off a 30-13 loss to the Packers, which I predicted the Seahawks would win. They've fallen on hard times. And the Seahawks now, they have to compete against the Rams and Matthew Stafford the rest of the year. For the Vikings, their only issue is what happens in the lines from here on out. For Vikings, I think if you're a Vikings fan or you're the Vikings a team, you don't want to concern yourself with the team ahead of you. You want to focus on your own team before you look at the team ahead of you, I think. And as a fan, you can do the same thing. You don't have to watch too closely, but as a fan, just look at your own team instead of looking ahead. For the Seahawks, they need to do the same thing at the end of the day if they're making playoffs. But for the Vikings and Sam Darnold, they look like the team that knows how to win. They have Justin Jefferson, who they can pass to, T.J. Hockenson, the tight end out of Iowa. They can pass to as well, score touchdowns, and they have a lot of weapons. At the end of the day, I think the Vikings get the win going on the road in Seattle. So give me the Vikings and Sam Darnold to get a big win, to get their 12th win of the year this week, as I think they do get closer to that number one seed potentially on Sunday afternoon. Moving on, we have the New England Patriots going up against the Bills, and Josh Allen Bills coming off a big win, 48-42, second game in a row they've scored 40-plus points. The week before, they lost 44-42 to the Rams in a shootout. Last week, another shootout on Sunday against the Lions, where each team had 40-plus points. This time around, going up against the Patriots, a team that's not very good, I think the Bills, this should be a little bit more of a cakewalk for them going into against the Patriots this weekend at home, a team that's in last place in the division at the bottom. And you know what? I think about that. Josh Allen should be able to pass to Amari Cooper, to his tight ends, Dalton Kincaid and stuff. At the end of the day, the Bills, I think, walk away with a big win at home on Sunday. So give me the Bills with a win here. I think this is going to be a walk in the park for them on Sunday afternoon against the New England Patriots. Last game of the night. Sunday Night Football. Tampa Bay Buccaneers, Baker Mayfield coming in. They're going up against the Cowboys and Cooper Rush for the Buccaneers, coming off a win 40-17 to the Chargers. Again, I predicted the Chargers will win. For the Buccaneers and the NFC South, Baker Mayfield and Buccaneers, they pretty much found their way in to making the playoffs. They're ahead of Atlanta right now. They're right up there, ahead of the Falcons in first place, just like they were last year at the end of the season. Made a late push, and it's just like last year, making a late push to get to the postseason, which they have done this season. At the end of the day, the Buccaneers playing against the Cowboys, who are without Dak Prescott. They have Cooper Rush as their quarterback. The Buccaneers and Cowboys, for Baker Mayfield, this is a big game. He has to get a win. But I do see this game being kind of interesting. Playing in Dallas, the team that won the NFC East last year, that's going to be tough. I think the Cowboys, Cooper Rush, he can make things interesting late in games, and he can make things happen, I think, when you don't expect it. But at the end of the day, I think Baker Mayfield and the Buccaneers come away with a close win on Sunday night in Dallas in Jerry Jones' Stadium. Once again, quick recap who I'm taking starting out on Thursday Night Football with the Chargers. I'm taking Justin Herbert and the Chargers over the Broncos and Bo Nix. In Kansas City, I'm taking the Chiefs, Patrick Mahomes over the Texans and C.J. Stroud. In Baltimore, I'm taking Lamar Jackson and the Ravens over Russell Wilson and the Steelers. In Washington, I'm taking the Eagles, Jalen Hurts over the Commanders and Jaden Daniels. In Seattle, I'm taking Sam Darnold and the Vikings over the Seahawks and Geno Smith. In Buffalo, I'm taking Josh Allen and the Bills over the New England Patriots. And in Dallas, I'm taking Baker Mayfield and the Buccaneers over the Cowboys and Cooper Rush. There's your Week 16 NFL predictions. With that being said, I'll see you right back here next Tuesday, Christmas Eve, for the Week 17 NFL predictions. Comment below who your favorite team's playing this week, if you think they're going to win. With that being said, have a good day, stay safe, and don't forget to watch, like, subscribe. Tell your friends to do the same if they haven't done so yet already, and don't forget to hit that notification button below so you know when there's a new video on the channel. With that being said, have a good day, stay safe, and peace out. I'll see you right back here on Christmas Eve for a Week 17 NFL prediction video next Tuesday. See you then. Stay safe and peace out. I'll see you Tuesday, everyone. Bye for now and stay safe out there. See you next week. Bye.